Hi family, it's Nicole, your HEYOKA empath. I'm in a somber mood today and I don't usually do videos like this. I felt very compelled to do this given that it is the Lion's Gate tonight and it is of unspeakable power that I speak to all my family now, all you unbreakables. That's who I'm speaking to. The environment around us right now is a little bit challenging. And this is why I'm addressing this, because I don't want any fucking thing to interfere with your elevation, with your soaring, with everything you're about to do in your life, everything that's coming for you. And I just want to address some things. I'm going to really try to be very neutral and just give you some insight that I have received so that you can look at things clearly and make your own informed decisions. We're going to talk about COVID in a very enlightened way. We're going to look at things as they are, as they're hidden, and as they are right out in the open where no one's seeing them. And I'm going to talk about my personal experience. The very first thing that I disagree with is, and for all those who disagree with what it is I'm saying, it's fine. You can disagree with me. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to delete your comments. You can share your point of view. It's absolutely fine. It will not deter me from mine, I assure you. So here we go. The very first thing about this COVID business, everyone, and of course the media is leading us and saying masks is the new normal. Let's just get used to this. This is the new normal. That is not normal. It's not normal. It's not new or old. It's not normal. And it shouldn't be said as such, because what happens is it sedates our mind into thinking it's acceptable. That part of us, even though we want to be rid of it, is like, okay, we'll just wear the masks and this is just how life is. And when you accept something you don't want, you can't accept partials. The universe doesn't work in partials. It takes the message of what is a yes and what is a no. So masks being a yes, it's the new normal, let's make fashion statements with it, is going to project a feeling, an energy of, okay, this is it. Let's just be happy with it. Now, there's no need to be upset with what it is we have to do. We can do what it is we have to do. But when it is being reinforced that masks are the new normal, it's not normal. It's not normal. That's the first thing. Here's the second thing that's really odd to me. 3/4 of the states have been vaccinated, and yet there's such a high rise of people being infected. Does that even make sense to you? The vaccination is supposed to stop us from being infected. Now, I'm seeing videos with doctors. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, and I'll tell you why I don't know if it's true or not. Doctors are saying they've had their second shot and they're getting reinfected. So, A, what's the answer to this? Third shot, fourth shot, fifth shot. How much toxicity do you think our bodies can take before the immune system can't fight anything? Because if it's going to be something powerful enough to snuff out a virus, it's got to be harmful to the body. It's like chemo. Same thing. It's got to be strong to hurt the cancer, so it's not going to be light or harmless towards the body. That's why you lose our hair. That's why other things go bad. That's why sometimes things just don't work out. Not to mention that The message of cancer that nobody talks about is that your body's in high alarm alert, that it's too toxic. Cancer is the final result stage of letting your body know you're too toxic and your liver is filled to the brim and the filter needs to be cleaned out because nothing is passing through. So the toxicity is not being able to be washed and wasted away and getting excreted out of the body. The reason why I say doctors are doing this, and I don't know if it's true, is because I happen to personally meet a person. He happened to be a med student. I was helping people deliver some food to some homeless people and whatnot, and I was driving off near a farm, a really nice land, and I happened to meet a guy who was a med student. And I was like 8 feet away and I'm like, hey, I'll just throw the food over. And he's like, nah, come over here. And I said, oh, you've got a real optimistic outlook. And he says, I'm a pre-med and I've got friends who are doctors. Every single person that comes in that doesn't feel good are getting, as a doctor, $19,000 to say it's COVID, $33,000 to say they need a ventilator. May God strike me dead if this did not happen. This happened to me. I was in such shock. I didn't even know to talk about it. I could not believe that some guy from the United States, and I'm here in Canada, was telling me about this. That was the first thing. So when I see doctors who are getting reinfected and have had the second dose, and there's such a big war about those who are vaccinated and those who don't want to be vaccinated, what does that propel us to do? Well, it does seem to propel us to just make sure everybody and every squirrel and every ant is vaccinated, doesn't it? So just keep that in mind for a second. They're also saying, from what I've looked at, and believe me, I never look at the news, but I felt it was my responsibility just to see if I can get some clarity for everybody. They say that the people that are not vaccinated are reinfecting other people. So they're calling us the carriers. Okay. That we should all be vaccinated. Okay. So if there are people like us, knock wood, that are not getting hit with it, that are the carriers, why is no one searching into that? Why is nobody researching them? Why is no focus going on to the carriers who are not getting infected, who are immune to it, and bringing that to the public? If you and I wanted to know how to be wealthy, would we go and research some homeless guy living under a bridge? Or would we study a billionaire, find out what makes him tick, find out what he's eating, sleeping, and drinking, find out how he's running his life? What is in these people, and it's not just genetics, what is in these people that are carriers that are not getting infected? Thank God. How are they different than the mass majority that are getting infected? Keep that in mind for just a second while we move on. The one thing that most people don't understand is that viruses don't stay the same, as in their strains change. That's why every year the same vaccine can't be used. It has to be tweaked because these buggers, they're very resilient, they're very resourceful, and they're highly intelligent. So they tweak themselves. And so the vaccination that was created 6 months ago or a year ago or whatever, will that be good this year? I don't know. Let's think about that. For me, as an international trainer, all I know is when you have an injury and you treat it in a way that is not effective, the injury doesn't heal. Sometimes you even have knee surgeries and you have to have 1, 2, or 3. Why? I'll tell you why. Because energetically, you do not know what you're holding that is being received by the body, and holding it in the knee area, which actually means having trouble deciding which direction to go to. Every thought that is negative and repetitive, and you don't know you're thinking about it subconsciously, but the energy, the chemical pathways that will be created by the energy that you feel by this negative feeling that you don't even know you're thinking each day because you're at the same job with the same person, the same place that's fucking you over. It's going to create a chemical change in the body. And that chemical change, that energy is going to manipulate itself and multiply and then produce an ailment. That's why they say when the body is in dis-ease, that means dis-ease with itself, it's not aligned, it'll create a health injury or a health ailment. A lot of clients who come to me from all over the world don't understand why they keep getting sick, or they keep having bronchitis, or they keep having pneumonia, or their thyroid issue they can't get rid of even though they're on medication, or they're on vitamins. But when we get to the root thought that is negative, ongoing, and we put a spotlight on it and we alter that phrase and put in a new one, they don't have it anymore. So all I know as an international trainer is that when you get injured, unless you do the right thing to that knee, it won't stop hurting. We're having a vaccination that's strong and proving to be really good for the majority of the people, but not for everyone. So is that the right answer? Is the answer out there somewhere? Or should we look at these people that are immune and ask ourselves, what's inside them that's shielding them? Which I'll get to in just a moment. The next thing I wanted to just quickly talk about is in Israel, and it's interesting, there's a whole protest. 12,000 people have been vaccinated twice, and they've gotten reinfected. I don't know. You tell me. We're not even looking at what these chemicals will do inside your body. We're not even looking at that. And I'm not a biologist, and I'm not a doctor, but I am into the sports nutrition world. And foreign things in bodies don't like foreign things. Now, in Israel, where this is happening, there's also another protest. So many people are dying after the second dose. Why? Why? 2 clients back to back, 1 week apart, again, as God is my witness. Their grandparents died right after the second. They called me SOS, hysterical. Grandparents died after the second dose. Why? Why are people dying after the second dose, those that are dying? Disturbing. They're not even all older people. There's a 39-year-old lady that had died. I saw that on a video as well. So again, is the vaccine the answer? Why is no money, no research, nothing going into people who are not getting it, who it's bouncing off of? What are they doing that keeps them okay? I spoke with a lady 2 days ago who works in a hospital when I was canceling an appointment that I had there for an MRI on my ankle. She was very surprised when we talked about COVID because she said to me, quote, I've worked with the elderly people since COVID started, and in my experience, I've never seen an elderly person have trouble getting over the virus. I never heard of that. I was shocked. I was shocked to hear that. It's not that it doesn't exist, but what I'm questioning is the media. What I'm questioning is who's gaining from all this media that could be fabricated. that who's people getting money under the table. I don't know. I don't think it would leak out in so many ways if there wasn't a grain of truth in there somewhere. Here's the thing. What most people are not talking about, yeah, they're talking about vitamin D and zinc, but you can't just take vitamin Z and zinc if you don't know how to take vitamin Z, zinc, and vitamin D. Vitamin D does not absorb unless, and we're talking D3, unless it's together with K2. So you're pissing out your money and you're wasting your time and you're not getting it absorbed. Zinc cannot be taken with calcium, or it competes for absorption. There are so many intricacies to the world of vitamins. It's a careful strategic plan. You can't just take whatever you want, whenever you want. You have to make sure you're doing it properly. Now, here's the thing that most people do not understand and do not know. Sugar is what virus lives on. It's what cancer lives on. It needs sugar in the bloodstream to exist. If it has oxygen, it will not exist. So, people who have high glucose, blood sugar, people who are insulin resistant are at high risk. And who's that? The majority of the population. Because what are we doing for the last year and a half? We're ordering pizza. We're ordering starches that convert into sugars. Every single person should have a blender and a juicer. So the enzymes, so you get live food, but instead we're going instant and Uber and pizza and schmeepta, where everything has sugar in it. Even their sauces have sugar in it. And the starches convert into sugar in your body. On top of that, the media, with all this fear, you start to be in a fight or flight mentality. You're not sleeping, and when you don't sleep, blood sugar goes up. Why? Because your body has to release more insulin because it thinks you need fear-based adrenaline, because it thinks you're being chased or you're in fear of something. And you are, you're not sleeping, and you are because you're thinking about what's going on in the world, how it's portrayed. So you're becoming insulin resistant because of lack of sleep. And any of you that are doing shift work, I would seriously reconsider my whole life and do not do shift work, because right now you cannot afford to do shift work. People who do shift work live the shortest amount of time. People who do shift work are always in a paranoia state. People who do shift work don't sleep properly, get cramps all over their body. Because when you don't sleep properly, your calcium gets blocked in the body, it can't be absorbed. That's one. Insulin resistance happens. So then you're not metabolizing properly. And your emotions go up and down, because that's what happens when you have cravings. And you'll have cravings when you have high glucose levels, insulin resistance. Why do you think diabetics are at the highest risk always for any infections? Because sugar is in their blood in a high level. So here's what sugar does. Sugar blindfolds the cells that are protectors in the body against invaders that are foreign invaders. So in other words, when your body's highly acidic and has too much sugar or insulin resistant, you're blindfolding your soldiers, protecting you in the front lines from any invaders, because they can't see them. If your body can't detect that it's a virus, it will not go after it. That's sugar. No one's talking about that. Why? Why? So for me personally, I would like to know all those carriers out there, all those people that haven't taken vaccinations. I want to know what you're doing. Because it's not just exercise, because a lot of people have exercise, but maybe they're still getting it and they're still infected. I'm talking about, what are the people who are bouncing out of this out of a day or two, or not having it at all? What are they doing in their system? Well, they're definitely taking some supplements that are key in the right way. And they're definitely not high in starches and carbs. definitely. That means a lot of fruit too. So in retrospect, with everything that's going on, I just had to, I don't even know if they'll take this video down or whatever. I just needed to talk to my people, talk to my family. This is a powerful time for us to take the blindfolds off and keep strong inside. Let nothing enter that isn't your perfect world, because you obsessing and you taking in all this and it affecting your chemistry, it lowers your immune system, and then you're susceptible instead of being a beacon of hope and a beacon of faith for all those others that are having a hard time. So in other words, you have a responsibility. If God gave you that gift, that insight, that body, that knowledge, this video within your living room for added knowledge, and for those that want anything personalized, you know, you can hit me up one-on-one. You have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to shine at this point in time when all the world is falling around you, because you will take the new world forward. And at some point, all the dust will clear and the truth will be seen. You see, because this virus wasn't caused by bats. We already know that, though it took a while. It wasn't caused because some guy leaked it in a laboratory. The focus seems to be now on the people who want vaccination and those that don't. It's like a battle. I don't know, it sounds like racism to me. We're being put in a place where we're being split. So the people who are not vaccinated, they don't care that the other people want to get vaccinated. Why do the people that get vaccinated care that the others don't get vaccinated? Oh yeah, because it might expand to the world. But if everybody's getting vaccinated that believe that will keep them safe, and those that are not vaccinated are bouncing out of it, why does one have to reinforce the other? Why does one have to prove that they are right and the other is wrong? You are different, therefore you're not with us. That's racism, man. That's black, white, Jew, black, whatever, purple, alien. That's what the fuck that is. Fucking division. That's why I don't give a fuck what you think about what I'm saying. Say yes, say no. You're welcome. Express yourself. Here, yes. Yes, please do. I'm okay with it. Everybody should have the right to do whatever they feel good with in their life, whatever resonates as true. And it really upsets me that those that are weaker, that can be manipulated in their mind, are not as insightful. And we're so distracted. We're so in fear or distracted, we can't make a sound judgment. We can't think. What is it these people that are doing? What, like insulin, sugar, what does virus eat? Virus strains are here to make us stronger. And when this focus is so busy being put on the tug of war, the vaccinators and the anti-vaccinators, we're forgetting the one crucial thing. We're trying to provide shelter from the monster trying to get us. But it keeps stomping on our shelter. We're not thinking how to kill the monster. We're not even looking for the monster, the source of the monster. We're just creating another shelter to be encapsulated, to be plugged up, to be immobilized, to be scared, to be robbed of our fucking life. Where is the monster? Where's our focus? It's on a battle of wills about who will and who won't. It's no longer on where is this coming from? Who or what has to gain from its release? It's not a fluke of nature. Too many things were too on a map it was too many people talking about this way before it happened. So just like COVID, and I'll have to say the gift of COVID, just like being with a karmic or a narc, there's always a gift to the hell of that awakening from that, of being burst open from your poison. Here's the gift from COVID. We were forced to be still long enough without all the distraction of pressure, of work, of media, of this and that, to be with our families, to be isolated, to get our rest, to realize we no longer want to fucking work at that job. We want to go to Jamaica and spend time with our family. We don't even want to come back to the States or to Canada. You know what? We want to live for our families now. That's the gift. We were still enough to have animosity, old buried guck, and the wisdom to know the difference of this feels great, this feels like hell. I feel tight, I feel relaxed. We can discern the difference right now. So I'm going to leave you. Oh my God, this is really long. I don't even know who stayed with me. I just know that I needed to do this. If for no one else watching, just for myself, don't be afraid. Focus on everything that you're becoming. Focus on all the blessings in your life. Focus on the energy in your body. Focus on all that you have, that you deserve, that has been waiting for you and may need to emerge, be born out of the manure of this time, like the lotus flower. Bye, family.